Get your Jan Sports ready because we are talking all things Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt tonight, Season 4, Episodes 1 through 3, right here on AFTERBUZZ TV. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Unbreakable, they alive, damn it.
Get back, ladies. Hello.
It's a good thing we're all ladies.
And it's a Sunday night. We are popping tonight, talking all things Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. My name is Tsahai, and I am your host this evening. I have a lovely panel of ladies, some old, some new. We've got some special segments and some interesting information. So let's get right into it. Who do I have to my left?
What's up, guys? It feels so good to be back. I can't believe it's been a year already. I'm ready to do season 4.
Hello.
Yeah.
So good to be back. My name is Candice Cruz.
Hi guys, who you calling old? Just kidding, lady.
Oldies but goodies.
Yes,
Okay? I mean, I just had a birthday, so you know I'm a little sensitive.
I got one coming up, guys. I'm Laura L. Thomas. I'm so happy to be back here.
Well, I'm the new one. So obviously, let me introduce myself. I'm Caroline Thayer. Do I put my last name, guys?
That's fine. The people
There
are
you
getting
go.
to know
Last names
you,
are great.
and that's great. So now they know the first and last name, and we'll
Thayer
give them-
with a T.
That's right. That's right. So we have so much to talk about. We're covering 3 episodes tonight, episodes 1 through 3. We'll start with Kimmy is Little Girl, Big City. Okay, so first of all, what did you think of these first 3 episodes, ladies?
I love the fact, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt always does such a good job of really playing against what the archetypes are that's happening in real world.
Yes.
And I really love the way that they approach it and attack it head on. And you just kind of have to laugh at it because,
There's so
what the
many
hell
real
else do you
world
do?
references, which is what makes I
Yeah.
think it really relatable. And even though Kimmy is just so out there,
Yeah.
and obviously her experience is not one that any of us have. At least I think no one's been in a
I've never
bunker.
been in a bunker.
So, I think that's what makes the show so relevant today and also really likable by a wide audience.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Titus puns, out the
mean,
wazoo,
that's
out the gate.
My favorite part of the show. I feel like, how the intro of the song says females are strong as hell. That was the overall theme I got from these episodes that we watched. So,
Yep.
And I thought it was interesting, though, because the first 3 episodes touched a lot on sexual misconduct.
Right.
And then also kind of how, even though the narrative right now in Hollywood has been so fixated on men, women also need to be careful and cognizant of their actions in the workplace as well, which is what we see with Kimmy.
Right.
Who's, obviously being harmless.
right. I mean, somebody had to suck the smoothie dry, and she
I
had
mean,
to do
suck it
it,
down.
all by herself.
But I don't
And-
think anyone did, right? Kabir definitely did not.
No,
she
she did.
She drank it.
She said that she drank it. I had to suck it dry because no one else was going to do it.
So Kimmy,
Go, Kimmy.
Yeah, she has her sexual harassment issues at work. She started this new job last season. We see her in the groove of things at this job. But did you notice she's the only woman at the job in the beginning, which I found
did.
interesting.
Techie tech. I feel like that's indicative of the tech world. I feel like you rarely see a lot of female presence there, which needs to change. But,
Definitely.
Well, I think if they're gonna change it, at least this is a good way to poke some fun at it.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
Well,
actual
Cheryl's there,
version.
guys.
As she should be.
Okay.
Loving Cheryl so much.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Does anyone think that Cheryl is the robot from last season? At the end, I was rewatching season 3.
Right.
And Kimmy was, for a hot sec, the crossing guard.
Right.
And she was going up against a robot. The robot did not say Cheryl on it, but, exact same type.
Except
voice.
she didn't have the name, the
Yeah,
letters
so
on
I'm
her
like,
chest.
was that a precursor to what we see now? Cheryl's now been given a name.
Cheryl has a personality. Cheryl also has a menstrual cycle. Yeah,
Absolutely.
So that was very interesting to find out.
I'm so sorry, Cheryl.
She's kind of been the robot has been a part of the series, kind of in these strange situations
Yes,
since
yeah.
it began.
Definitely.
So
we never really know what that means.
I know, but that's why I'm really happy that this season we actually see her as a full on character.
Yes,
Yeah.
which
with
is really
more
cool.
personality. So Kimmy's dealing with the sexual harassment allegations. Lillian is dealing with the death of her beloved Artie.
Which
Rest in
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared either.
I did not think that they were just gonna kill him off. Like, she's already suffered enough.
I know.
And I really love them together, even though they had a very bickering type of relationship.
But it was nice to see her have
sweet.
someone to have love in her life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So it makes me wonder, like, who's next, or what's
Well,
what's next for
Someone's
Miss
next
Lillian.
on the chopping block. Okay.
Well, Lillian, nothing stops her. Her sex drive is still
We'll have to get to
going.
that a little later, right?
Exactly, yeah. But she's definitely a spry older woman. That's
Yes.
what I loved seeing that. And we'll see her growth later. We have Jacqueline, she's still figuring out her life. She started her white talent agency.
I mean,
Poor naming. Poor naming.
I think it's her embracing the fact that she has now she now identifies as a white woman.
Well, I was gonna
her
say
last
it's 100% appropriate for Jacqueline, right?
Right,
yes.
exactly.
Any other character that would have done it wouldn't have worked.
But for her,
But
it's
for
like
her.
100%. By the way, do you guys feel like this season she looks better than she has in any other season?
Amazing.
I think every time she
Her
comes on screen,
fashion, the dresses that she's been wearing.
Yes.
Those pajamas.
I need them.
I want those pajamas. Where'd you
Her
get
hair.
those,
makeup
girl?
is on point.
She
her
looks
hair is
great.
great.
Drain
Like,
Krakowski.
she's nailing it, girl.
Go, girl.
She looks amazing. And then we have our Titus, who is still, pining over Mikey and trying to figure
Hardcore.
out, how they can possibly get back together.
Can we figure that out? Because I want them back together really bad.
I mean, and then I feel like Mikey gave him a little bit of hope. Like
The window.
he
the
did,
door's
right?
ajar.
But Mikey's just
Don't
so...
break my heart. Go.
No,
What do you gotta
no.
say
He's so
about Mikey?
oblivious that I don't
But
think
so
he
it-
means any harm. He literally just wants to be friends. Which, as a man, you should know. Don't do the whole "we should just be friends" diddling my either.
I mean, he even called, and then he was like, "Let me come to your job."
Yeah,
I
like
think
you
he
don't do that
He
unless
was
you're
pushing
interested.
a
Yeah,
lot.
but was he tempted because of the white guy, Greg Kinnear?
Greg Kinnear is a huge star. And we've all seen, many of us have seen As Good as It Gets. So, that does make someone a little starstruck. And I get it, but still, you know your boundaries, Mikey.
Wait, so does that elevate someone's status when you see them with someone of clout? Like, if you see an ex with somebody that, like, I don't know, is like a celeb or somebody, like, would that make you want to get back with him more?
Not me. My
no.
pride would still keep me away.
No,
but,
no.
Some people, Mikey is a construction guy. He doesn't get to be a part of that world often. So I think that's why it was exciting for him.
Right.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
I mean, I don't know. I'd like to think no, but I'm pretty shallow like that.
At least you're
So be a
admitting it.
possibility.
I mean, I think if anything, it makes me want to work harder because I'm like, oh, you're hanging out with so and so. I'm gonna be up there. Watch it.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm more like
like
that.
one day
I'm not
you'll-
like the jealous of I want to get back with them. It's more like, okay, cool, good for you.
I'll
I'll
be
see you
hanging
soon.
out with Beyonce next week. So
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be on top of that. We would love to know how that goes.
Yeah, can I lemonade with you?
Oh,
Beyonce.
lemonade. Let's all lemonade.
Can we reminisce on last season though? Okay.
Yes. Oh, Titus. But that's the thing. Is to see him and Mikey back together. It does give us all hope. But as we saw, it didn't work out as much as he thought it would. But I think it also made him feel good. Titus is busier now this season.
Right.
The fact that he and Jacqueline are working together.
He
I think
has
it's
real
really
jobs.
good. Yeah, it's really good for him. He's no longer that wolf in the restaurant like he was a couple seasons back. So I think the growth that he's experiencing is also really good.
Also, I don't think they would show us in the first episode of the final season when he professed in the last season, "I will win you back." I don't think it's going to be that
quick.
easy.
Yeah.
yeah,
think
and
it's gonna give us something
even
to work
Titus
for.
said it might not be today, it might not be tomorrow, 6 months from now, but it will happen. So we have something to look forward to.
Now, I know one of your favorite parts of the episode was Titus's assistant that he had, quote unquote.
Oh yes.
What was the name of that assistant?
Oh,
again?
hold on. I think we wrote it down because I don't want to mess this up. Tablewood Ratbirth.
I mean,
Is my assistant, yes. very much. Tablewood Ratbirth. It does the way he says it, though. Just sounds so eloquent. I'm like, where did you find this wonderful British assistant? Can I have a Tablewood Ratbirth as well?
Right? Let's go for
it
it.
has a ring to it. Did you guys have any favorite quotes during this episode?
I loved when he got his award, which was actually the Ashes.
Oh no, that was so sad to me. That was really almost polarizing because that was Artie in a
I
little
know, you
Yeah,
weren't
but
ready.
he already had his speech prepared. That's where I was going. He's like, years ago, Poitiers. And I was like, oh,
right.
Sidney
oh, girl.
Poitier.
Well, I thought the best part was after when he was like, by the way, when I die, I want to be in that bodies exhibit so that I can look thin.
Yeah.
Thin and dead.
Which is so funny.
But Titus, you know, he tells us these things. Like, I love when he makes up words. Like, he says, "What have you done, Kim Kimmery, Kim Kimmery, Kim Carew?" Like, he always has, like, these different names for her, and that was one of my favorites.
Which, you know, is, like, obviously
Mary
from...
Poppins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I also liked, maybe I'll call you when I get my next monthly datum. The fact, I mean, Titus, why don't you
Yeah, he said that to Mikey.
Yeah, why don't you have unlimited service, Titus? But I guess they do live in that basement apartment.
Well, I can't say this because it alludes to the later episodes, but I'm not spoiling it for anybody. I'm just saying that
Y'all already binged it. Let's be real here.
Well, I'm just so for those of you who haven't binged it, we know that Titus is not the most technically savvy person,
Definitely,
on the planet.
Did you see his laptop?
Contutor.
That's what I was referring to.
Contutor is another word that...
a Titus word.
I actually had to rewatch that episode, and I was like, "This is a fancy word. What does that mean? It's a good tutor." I mean, go Titus! You got a new word that I don't know about, and then all of a sudden, we need a contutor.
Now, Lillian also isn't computer savvy, nor is Jacqueline. So it's like the blind leading the blind. But
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Kimmy isn't, like,
None of them are
far
tech
out
savvy.
either.
yeah, but I think she's, you know, one step closer. She's working amongst the tech savvy people now. So she's growing
Yeah,
in that area a little
true.
bit. One thing that I did find interesting in this episode as well is that Lillian, in her attempt to dispose of Artie's ashes properly, encounters gentrification. Like, this place that used to be a home that meant so much to him is now a snow
Well, it was a
house.
camp.
Yeah, a camp that he attended, you know, as a
Jewish
as a-
boys and their mothers.
Yes, but now it's a snow house with, like, these guys that just are kind of douchey to her, and the costumes that Lillian wore during this episode.
Cyndi
were
Cyndi
Lauper
Lauper.
I liked her Cyndi
Cyndi
Lauper.
Lauper killed the prostitute.
But her rear back was great.
Lillian is too much. She's just too much.
is.
And the fact that Kimmy also has this full-time job and we get to see Cheryl, I thought was great. Did you know that Cheryl stands for Cybernetic Human Empathy Response /lamp?
/lamp.
Yes.
Okay.
Does she light up?
But we never saw her light up. But I guess we just, as long as we know that she can light up, and she did light up their lives.
Okay, wait, but now that you're saying this, wasn't Yuko the name of the robot as it was referred to in past seasons?
Yeah.
So, look at this. Now they've given her full character and an actual name. Look at that.
And a voice.
Yes.
And a voice.
Yes.
And a boyfriend.
And you can also see
later.
the line of that there's a human being inside this robot as well.
That's right. That's
Just
right.
saying.
We're not.
But going back to the whole, like, Kimmy having a job thing,
Yeah.
I really did like the way that they attacked the whole sexual harassment issue, because I think that it is, like you said earlier, it's such a prevalent thing. But what I love that Kimmy Schmidt does is that they go head on and they do not avoid any hard topic.
Yeah.
But they make it so real that you have to laugh at it.
Definitely.
And you have to really think about it. And I love that they took it from the female perspective,
Yes.
because these men, we love Kimmy so much and we empathize with her. She's humanized.
Right.
So we forget that, like, I'm not trying to negate anything that's ever happened,
Right.
but, like, some of these men that are making these claims don't realize what they're doing. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, no. You realize, like, anything can be taken out of context.
Yes,
Right.
they put their own Kimmy spin on it to,
Yes.
to show you that it could sometimes, yes, there are men that are doing these things deliberately, but it's also men who have been raised to behave that way or may not have the language to use to conduct themselves in a different way.
Yeah, and I think Titus said it best as well. And that was, like, a really interesting moment to have Titus go from being up here all the time to being like, hold on, and say something really heartfelt and intelligent of, like,
Yeah, this
it
happened to
doesn't
me.
matter.
However,
like,
he said it was long overdue, like the books that I'm using as my apps. So he kept it like
He kept it
100,
light,
like
right.
really true Titus form.
definitely.
But I loved that he was just like, this is something that, like, it's not how you feel, Kimmy.
Right, it's not
It's how
about
you make everybody else feel.
Exactly.
So let's be real.
Yeah, which was an interesting way to look at things from a different perspective. Because usually with these allegations, it's like, okay, all these guys are just horrible. But to see it from a community point of view, it was
It's an interesting
another
spin.
spin. Yeah. So going into episode 2, Kimmy has a weekend. Now, we cherish our weekends. We are here working on our weekend.
What are weekends?
What are weekends? When did that happen?
These things called Saturday and Sunday, some people don't work on.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
that's what a weekend
Yes,
is. I've
that's
been
what a
wondering
weekend
what it is. I don't know.
Now, by this point, Jacqueline has moved into the office because she is broke and has nowhere to live.
Because she's subletting her house, right?
Correct. Yes. And but then
And all her kids are gone.
well, her one child, Buckley, who's gone to the military school.
Yeah, but like she was close with Zan, and Zan was like,
And we see her a little later, but I mean, when I think her kid, I think her like her biological child.
Okay.
Yeah. Kimmy.
for peculiar children. He's
Yes.
gone to a school for peculiar children.
Yes. Okay. So why do we think? I mean, I thought Buckley was fine. Do you remember him really being peculiar?
Yeah.
No.
A little odd.
I mean, how can you not be with your parents being who they are?
That's true. That's true.
The fact that they closed down the whole school for one peanut, I died. Because that's such like a normal like.
Especially LA
Yes.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
There's a peanut.
And
here.
you're a new parent, so have you encountered any of these things where you have to be aware of allergies?
Oh gosh, yeah. Like we were in a cave for I would say the first couple of months until he got some vaccinations and all of that. And
Yeah.
then once that happens, then you can,
Venture in the world.
expose them to the germs and all of that. But literally we were like hovering over him like
Well, like
Incubator.
most of the
literally.
time when people find out they're allergic to something, it's just they're trying it for the first time. So
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, oh crap, I'm allergic to a peanut.
Right.
Could turn into something more.
You never know
Well,
when you're hypersensitive.
Yeah, and we're about to start solid foods, and so once that happens, it's literally like high alert. Like
Right.
here's an apple, watch them for 3 days. Are you okay?
Poor baby.
So it's really
Well,
crazy.
Speaking of hypersensitive,
Yeah.
Kimmy, on this weekend that she has, she and Titus go get their nails did.
Which I need to do.
You know, Titus's reaction to getting his feet scrubbed, hilarious.
Best.
Okay. And the fact that Kimmy wanted these long, beautiful, amazing nails, but she could not handle them.
I mean, they're hard.
Okay, I'm gonna say something.
Okay.
I saw a female person in a Starbucks the other day, and her nails were straight up the size of like a space bar. Like that's how long they were. And she is fervently typing on her phone. How, like, I don't get how
They do
somebody
this
does
number
that.
where they do the finger
Yeah.
so that they can reach it. It's so funny.
I've
No,
never
but
had
there was like a
acrylics.
lot of clacking, so you could like she was using her fingertips, which again were the size of a space bar.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
don't understand.
I think practice makes perfect. Like once you've committed to a life with acrylics,
Right.
you
Y'all,
figure out how to make
a
it work.
skill's a skill.
Right, that's true.
Putting in contacts
Right?
is a feat with these things. Just saying.
Oh, girl.
Oh, gotta slide that in. Anyway.
Getting them in is fine. Taking them out,
Oh, that's the hard part.
that's the worst part.
When they're pointy too, I can understand where Kimmy was having a hard time.
I mean, I've never
worn
had
a
them, but-
contact before.
and I've never worn acrylics. So please, in the comments,
they
let
were
us
pretty.
know. They were lovely. And speaking of comments, we are on iTunes. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let us know what you think as you listen to us.
And if you are not listening or you are listening on iTunes, we also have a YouTube channel. You can see our lovely faces as well. And you can like, comment, subscribe, and you can also be in a live chat. So hop on over because we are having another episode right after this where you can see our lovely faces and chime in on the conversation.
Yes.
and we're in the live chat, so hit us up, y'all.
Hit us
We're
up.
there.
Hit us up. So Kimmy's in the nail salon. She decides she wants to save everyone because she's getting the bunker vibes.
Right.
But she also learns that her experiences aren't the same as the women in the nail salon. And she learns about the fact that there are privileges that she has. Even though she's struggled in life, there are privileges that she wasn't even aware of. I found it interesting that they brought this subject up, and I was like, darn, Kimmy Schmidt, you guys are really dropping the knowledge in this. What did you guys
Yeah.
think about that?
Her leaving the Goodwill with the jacket, though.
Hilarious.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry. That's never worked for me. When can I go somewhere?
And to hear the guy in the
I guess
background
those are-
like, oh, bring it back anytime you want.
So did anyone else notice, and I'd love to ask our fans this, that it was almost like a little bit of a throwback when the man, the like customer service guy was like, our bathrooms are only for customers. And that was like Titus's big storyline at the end of season 3.
Yes.
So it was like a recurring situation. But, of course, Titus was like, of course this is going to happen to me.
Right.
Right.
As expected. And Kimmy was in shock. And she's like, it doesn't even matter what I've gone through.
Right.
AKA the bunker. Because who can see that on her face unless you know who she is?
Exactly.
Right.
And then it was also very topical because we recently had the issues with the gentleman
Starbucks.
with Starbucks. So it was just
Which is
very
interesting because they shot this a long time before that happened. So it's so odd that every time I watch any show,
Yeah.
art imitates life.
Yeah.
Every time.
Well, and it also shows how on point these writers are and how socially aware
Tina
they
Fey.
are. Hashtag Tina Fey,
Yes.
queen.
And the fact that they are always talking about like things from the 90s, like making 90s references, which for me, I love because I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know anybody else like still remembered those things. So it was good to hear.
Yeah, for sure.
So we also meet Trip, who's an interesting...
Trip is a trip.
Yeah, he's an interesting character. He reminds me, seeing Trip made me think, if we don't get Buckley back in that military school, this is what Buckley could turn out to be.
Oh.
That's a good point.
Just a little bit. It was a little scary. But there's a question. What is the painting that Trip makes inappropriate gestures towards when they go to that party with Jacqueline?
Yeah, and Jacqueline freaks out about it. She is like, is that the... And then before she can finish her sentence, she
Right.
gets cut off.
I thought it was going to be a
know-
picture of her. Please let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Isn't it a naked woman?
But like she acted like she was familiar with the
Yeah,
person.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if maybe she had some type of like tie to it.
What
or
if it's
whatever.
her?
That's what I thought, but it didn't look like her, and it went by.
There wasn't enough focus.
Yeah, it was a little blurry. But the fact that he goes to a party and thinks that it's appropriate to massage the breast of the artwork is speaks a lot about Tripp's personality.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he got a job solely because he's a rich white kid. So
Right.
the woman who was speaking with Jacqueline, she goes, I was working at a Jamba Juice last week, and then all the executives decided to show their wee-wees, and now I'm running the company. It's like, okay, well, that's actually probably factual. But she said that, because he's affluent,
Right.
his family can fund the programming, or like the movie that they're going to be doing,
Right.
Which I'm not sure that's always how Hollywood works, but
I found out recently that there's a very popular female singer who we have been led to believe that she two singers, a woman and a man, that we think have worked pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, but come to find out their parents are actually very wealthy, and that their parents' wealth is what actually got them into the music.
Did I tell you this story last year?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I do too. I think everybody else does too.
I
Just think.
I don't want to. I'm not going to accuse. Allegedly, that's what I'll say.
In the comments
Show
of
the
things people
receipts.
say. Wow.
Show me the refunds.
But so I think it was speaking to that experience that we're seeing in Hollywood right now.
True, that you
Yeah.
can get ahead because
Yeah.
of who you are.
Yeah, and you can make mistakes. You can have a kind of a weird situation with a manatee in Miami, like Tripp did, and still,
Always forgiven.
Yeah, become successful in life. We also get introduced to DJ. We see a little bit of DJ Slizzard. Now, at first, when we saw DJ Slizzard, I was like, "DJ Slizzard."
I was like, is he like a DJ I'm supposed to know
Right.
about? Like, is that a real reference to somebody?
But
Because like Slizzard is, that song like G6. It's like sip and Slizzard.
sure.
Like, thank you. Okay, I didn't want. That's it. I'm not singing more of it. But
next episode.
Well, I think that's scissorp. And it's a
Scissorp.
slizzard.
I really thought it was Slizzard. All right, well,
No, that's okay.
Scissor,
You're
you got it.
you're
Yes.
tiny.
I'm the newbie.
I'll teach you the ways.
Slizzard. That's the thing
Slizzard.
that Justin Bieber got addicted to.
It's a
It sure
cough
is.
syrup.
Cough
Justin
syrup and
Bieber was
concoction.
addicted to scissors.
Yeah, and Lil Wayne.
Oh, well, Lil Wayne I knew, but Justin Bieber, that's so, you're jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm
Justin
pretty sure he
Bieber.
had, like,
I
an
mean,
He
issue with
also
that.
has a huge tattoo on his stomach, but who's to say?
It's
But
horrible.
someone who's not addicted to scissorp is Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
That's right. That's
Very
right.
true.
That's right.
Getting back, but
We get to see, I'm so used to calling him the Reverend.
Right.
Then we see this
He's
DJ
a DJ.
Slizzard. Then we call him Dick Wayne. Like, he has all these names, and he's in this documentary that Kimmy sees on our faux Netflix.
Roku, but it's brown Netflix instead of Netflix Red.
Right. But I thought it had another name.
I thought it was Brown
Or is
YouTube.
YouTube Brown?
YouTube Brown.
Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube Brown.
So,
Which is
was close.
like throwback to the first episode when Greg Kinnear is like, oh, YouTube Brown just signed me on for a 10-episode deal,
Right.
which we didn't mention this, but maybe we'll see Greg Kinnear in the future because he was saying Titus, write me a script.
Right, because we did see him when Titus was trying to win
was
Mikey
nice of
over. You know, Greg
Yeah.
Kinnear, through Jacqueline's connection, was at that school, and then that's how the connection between Greg Kinnear and Titus and Jacqueline all
Also,
occurred.
can we rewind to the first show that they were binging? Because I love that they were binging. The little throw off of Sex in the City. Did anyone listen to the song they were singing?
I don't remember telling us.
They were like basically throwing the race
yeah.
issue in as well. And they were singing about, I can't even remember all of it, but there was one point where they were like, and they have to have an Asian.
Oh,
And I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
thanks.
Well,
And the network was called House Flicks. That's
Yes.
what it's called.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
Oh
They
no,
did
that's
so
like
many
that's
throws.
Houseflix is like what? Yeah, is the
That's-
equivalent of Netflix.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
got
what
it,
she
got
was
it.
watching, binging, which it shows Kimmy's just like us. She spends her weekend on the couch binging
Well,
shows.
this episode, The Weekend, was like her first weekend that
Exactly.
she had, and then she fell in love with binge watching.
As we all have.
and brunch and
can't-
mimosas.
Right?
True.
I wish I would have had this morning.
And Cheryl attends that brunch.
Yes. Cheryl at the brunch. First of all, Titus was in love with her. And then she was also talking about the things that she's doing with her boyfriend, which were... She said, she alludes to basically that she and her boyfriend are sexually active and trying things all over her body parts. And Kimmy does not understand at all. She's like, please, Titus, tell me. And Titus is like, no, you cannot.
Because she's pure and she's
exactly.
innocent and she does not need to know anything.
But the fact that Cheryl the robot is more soiled than Kimmy, I found hilarious.
Wow. Yeah.
But like, does this
I
surprise
have to
you?
agree.
Yeah, because she's a robot. So I didn't know she had a boyfriend. I didn't know what she was
She
doing.
could reproduce. She could do.
That's true. That is
And
true.
she has a menstruation.
Right.
So-
Yes.
Anything's possible if you just believe.
Exactly.
It's true.
So at the end of episode 2, we allude to this documentary about DJ Slizzard. That leads us to episode 3, which was a total change of the usual Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt
I
format.
don't know how I felt about it.
Did it throw you off a little bit?
I thought it was going to change, and I was like, this is really long.
Right.
Yes, that
Like,
was
it's
my.
not stopping.
What'd you think of DJ Finger Blast?
I just thought we were done with him in season 3. So
can't
I was
handle him.
like, first of all, I can't take that name seriously.
Yeah.
He annoys me.
What about his outfits, his hat, and the way he speaks?
Annoys me.
I mean, there's one part where he was having dinner with a man who we will talk about in our next episode. But his arms were looking very toned and very muscular. I was like, oh, I like that about you.
Yeah.
But the whole vibe he was giving off and the Hello Hadid he was dating.
Yes, his
Right.
love.
Which, again, as we've touched on throughout this whole conversation, I think it was such a spot on,
Reference.
tongue-in-cheek kind of poking fun at this whole DJ movement that's happening.
Right.
Like, he was so over the top and
Yep.
ridiculous, and the lifestyle and just the level at which his mind did not operate on a full capacity
Yes.
was what I found hilarious.
He was in his own fantasy world. Now, I don't follow DJs, but I did watch a Steve Aoki documentary, and he just seemed like a hardworking guy. His dad owned a chain of restaurants,
Yeah.
and that's how he came up in the business. It seemed like he worked hard, so he didn't seem douchey. So I was like, okay, who are they basing this off of? Is there a DJ out that you think that, is it a Calvin Harris that they're basing it off of? Or
I feel as though it's almost somebody that we don't know.
Okay.
And it's somebody that we're poking fun of how everyone wants to be famous and everyone wants to be in the industry.
Yeah.
And he just seemed completely oblivious. He almost seemed like a producer, who was trying to
what's wrong with producers?
no, hey,
I'm just joking.
I was a producer. I had my foot in that pond or toe in that pond,
Dipped your
whatever.
toe into that pond.
Thank you.
We're getting there, yeah.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
that
you.
one.
I'm not really good with the colloquialisms, but basically, the point is, I feel like he was trying to be a millennial on the cusp of being a little bit too old for that.
Okay.
And
Because
I don't
he
know.
did have the producing team with him that he was always trying to make them do what he wanted.
What's that guy from the show Catfish?
Neve, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it really truly kind of captured like a big piece of today's society, which is a lot of it is like, look, if you want something done, go do it yourself. It doesn't mean that you're talented. It doesn't mean that you're good at it. It doesn't mean, but if you have passion, you have drive.
Yeah.
Like, get out there and do it. You know, and so. As ridiculous as the whole thing was, the whole documentary was, like, part of it is like, it's almost like the Tommy Wiseau thing from The Room.
Oh, yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so bad, it's good.
Right.
You know?
And you're right about...
a cult classic.
Yes. You're right about learning along the way, because the fact that he had to fly to put the camera, then come back to get the shot of him on the plane.
He did a lot of flying.
He did a lot of flying.
He also has a lot of money, and I'm wondering, like, where the hell it's all coming from.
DJs make a lot of money, so
Yeah,
that is true. And also, I think it speaks to our obsession with just watching these DJs and our obsession with, like, these models that become very popular.
Instagram and celebrities.
Okay,
like,
but that being said, I think that the Hadids are worthy of being models.
They're legit.
Yes.
They're legit.
But also, what I did like too is that they were also playing a spinoff of how much our society is obsessed with murder mysteries and any type of documentary, like Making of a Murderer, American Vandal, having the spinoff of like all the other shows that are happening. Like, they did a great job, and the filming and the camera, like, kudos to them, because they did change it so much that it did not look like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Right.
Like, you have to give the camera operators and the DPs and the angles and the directors kudos to that, because that's a whole different stylistic choice outside of the lightness of the shots that we see normally in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Yeah.
The angles are different, so taking it from that spin is very
I agree.
cool.
It was nice to see, but that they kept it all in the Netflix family. Like they were like, these are our shows. We know what to do here, so we're gonna make fun of ourselves.
Well, they've done, and we'll talk about this a little bit in a minute, but they've done a great job with Netflix of keeping it really in the family with all the FYCs and everything else that's been going on.
Yes, speaking of FYC,
Yes.
we have some special news about our Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt shows.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So tomorrow we will be finding out
Emmy nomination.
Emmy nominations, which I'm super excited. If you live in LA, I'm sure you have seen everywhere in Los Angeles there is a flag that says for consideration FYC.
And it's either a picture of Kimmy or Titus.
Oh,
Yes,
Jacqueline,
and just in general, there's a lot of shows that are out for
yeah.
FYC in general. And kind of going off the Netflix thing, I did get to go to one of the FYCs, which was an amazing experience. Nice. But they do such a great job with incorporating all of the Netflix family and really kind of bleeding them over and really making like nuances towards each other. So, I mean, good luck to all of them. We will be finding out tomorrow.
I kind of hope Ellie Kemper gets a nomination.
Yeah,
so
I think that she's been passed up on the Best Actress award.
I will find out for our next episodes, since we're getting ready to go into our episodes 4 through 6. I'll find out what episodes from last season they are pitching to be nominated.
Okay.
Because for any of you guys that don't know anything about FYC or Emmy nominations, what television's shows do is that they are throwing in specific episodes in the ringer to be considered, not necessarily the entire season as a whole.
Right.
So there are specific episodes that they were picking and choosing. So we'll find out that and let you guys know next episode.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Yes.
Also, as we mentioned, this is unfortunately the final season of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I know. So
Okay, but the thing that I actually appreciate about this coming to an end is they're not going to overkill it and then have the show run on, and you know, maybe the creative interest in the writers is going to dwindle.
Right.
So I think they're going to go out on a bang.
I love the fact that they're easing us into it. They said that the remaining episodes will start airing January 25th.
That is a while away.
Yes, but I read somewhere that it may be in the form of a long movie.
Oh,
So that'd be
I
interesting.
like that.
Oh, that's fancy.
That could be really good. I really like Netflix movies.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And a Kimmy movie with all the shenanigans would be a great way to go out on top. Wrapping up this episode, did you notice that the name of it was Party Monster Scratching the Surface? And when I heard the word Party Monster, it made me think of that Macaulay Culkin movie that he made when he was trying to show everyone that he was like a grown-up now. He made this crazy movie about party, like club culture, and it was called Party Monster. But then later we find out that Party Monster is supposed to reference DJ Slizzard, who was like a monster party DJ. So I was like, aha. But the fact that they chose that name, I found it really interesting.
Also, can we rewind episode 1 that we forgot to talk a little bit in detail about? What's up with the money in the suitcase and the hand?
Look, I saw the puppet again. I assumed it was the puppet that tried to
Seduce Titus.
Exactly.
Yep.
But we didn't see much about that, so maybe that's going to be in the movie.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I it was so arbitrary, and then you
was.
don't see anything else.
No, like who did you guys think that was? Like, what do you think that's about? If you had to guess,
I think that
Oh,
I think there's a very strong chance that there's some like other cult work going on.
okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think because what I was reading about the movie, if there is one, is that it might be a doomsday situation where there obviously is another bunker
Okay.
involved.
Okay.
Which could also be the other person that was in the bunker. What was her name?
There's
Cindy,
so many of
Cindy
them.
Picorno?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going into our predictions, so let's kind of just
yeah.
ease into those predictions because we're.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
Oh, I beat it. I'm sorry. I tried to time it out. It
That's
didn't work.
okay. That's okay. So, Caroline, you gave us your prediction about this money situation. Do you have any other predictions for those who haven't? I know we've all watched all episodes, but any other predictions for these episodes?
Oh man, I just want Kimmy to end on a happy note. I think she will, but I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what her happy is yet because she seems to tackle a new adventure. Whether it be first her coming to terms with like living outside the bunker, and then it was going to school, and then she didn't finish school, and getting her first job, and her second job she got married. Kind of like she needs to get divorced from the Reverend. I just want her to be in a happy place by the time.
Laura, what about you? What are your predictions?
Are we talking about predictions like when this comes back in January? Or are we
Yeah.
just
Oh,
talking
then that is
about-
not what I did.
I mean, just what are your hopes for Kimmy?
Oh gosh. Well, does it have to be for Kimmy?
No,
I
for
want
any of the
Jacqueline
characters.
to find happiness.
Okay. And you could also tell us what your thoughts are about this money.
Oh gosh. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think later on we see some more fictional kind of characters come to life. I mean, we see this
the
robot.
backpack.
We see
The backpack, but that's way later.
But that's for if you haven't seen it. I don't know what you're talking about. No, there are some more characters that come to life, I guess, later on.
Yeah.
These sort of inanimate objects that come to life. Obviously, we have Cheryl, that is a robot. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like there is kind of this sort of alternate universe involved in this,
Right.
this final season of Kimmy. So. Kim.
Impossible. What about you, Candice? What are your predictions about the money or any of the other characters?
I do love that they suspend disbelief with this show and do it so fluidly, and because a lot of shows it would be really cheesy, but I love the tongue in cheek.
Yep.
I want Titus to have like success.
Yeah.
I really hope for him to have success and to have a little bit of a wake up call, which I think going into the next few episodes that we talk about, he does have an awakening of sorts.
yes.
But I do hope that he finds success and finds that love that he pines so hard for. And I don't know if it's necessarily in Mikey. As much as I want it to be, I think that Titus needs someone a little bit more grounded. Because the two of them together, it's like they're North Pole and North Pole on a magnet, and they just don't fit because they both are missing the mark on each other.
Yeah.
So
But
something's
timing is
not
everything.
true. However, the fact that he didn't know, I don't know much about night construction. Oh, they use light. I'm like,
But Mikey always
you can't have two of them together.
He gets it eventually. Like the camera, the guy that did you notice the guy who was filming the scene was also the
Yeah,
guy.
that's because
He was the-
Jacqueline and Titus were like, we need a computer.
Yeah,
to
he
make
was the tech guy
posters.
from the
and then he does the phone.
Gizmodo.
Hold it the right way, though. Good job.
Exactly.
Hold it this way.
He did a good job. For me, my prediction is I want Kimmy to find love. Like, I think that's something that she's missing. She's learning to love herself.
Yep.
But I would love to have her also find someone to love. And because we love you, we want you guys to come back and catch us here on AfterBuzz TV. We have some more episodes coming up right after this, covering episodes 4 through 6. I'm Tsahai Wilson. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and sometimes on Snapchat at Say Hi Tsahai. Where can they find you, Candice?
Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you in just a few minutes. Again, my name is Candice Cruz. You can find me on all of my social media across the board at Candice R. Cruz.
Yay, and I'm Laura L. Thomas. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Laura L. Thomas TV.
We have like a middle initial trend going on. So I'm Caroline Thayer, and you can follow me on social media at Caroline J. Thayer.
So hit us right back. We'll see you right after this, and catch us tomorrow as well for our final predictions for season 4 of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
A special segment.
Yes, we have some more news for you guys, so stay tuned. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.